Welcome to the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series. My name is Jody Maley, and I've been an entrepreneur and business owner for over 27 years now. Thanks for joining the podcast, and I can't wait to share with you tips and ideas on how to grow your heart-centered entrepreneur business. As a personality dimensions coach, I help entrepreneurs discover who they are at their core so they can have real and authentic sales conversations with their ideal clients. We all started or joined a business so that we can make an income on our terms. Whether you're just starting out in your entrepreneur journey or have been in sales for a while, the key to any business is sales and nurturing the sales relationship. So I invite you to sit back, relax, maybe even have your favorite drink and take some notes as we have fun delving in to learn more from the top 1% to 2% income earners who are making such a difference and impact for themselves and their beautiful teams. Their tips and ideas will uplift and inspire you in a heart-centered, authentic way to help lift you up, move you forwards towards your perfect dream and goal. So stay tuned to the end of each podcast as I will share a little gift from me that I know will get you inspired in your beautiful business. Hey everybody, Jody Maley here with the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series. That's a mouthful, but it's a good mouthful. I'm here today with one of my clients and this lady is amazing. We just met, Beth, about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Yeah.
About 2 weeks ago. And it's just been really a great heart connection that we've had. And working with her and her team is going to be amazing. And I'm so looking forward to, helping you and your team. But I also want you to introduce yourself because you are in the top 1% to 2% of your current company. It's up to you if you would like to mention that. I just kind of leave that up to my guests. And we're going to have some fun getting to know you and getting to know how long you've been in business as an entrepreneur and your growth journey. But introduce yourself first here to our guests.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Jody, for having me. It has been a pleasure starting to get to know you and working with you so far. I'm really enjoying it. My name is Beth Newberry, as Jody mentioned. I have been with my company for 13 years now. I was one of the founding consultants with what was then Ava Anderson Non-Toxic. We had a big transition about 7 years ago to Pure Haven. And our whole goal with the company is it's very, very mission driven. And it is to educate people about toxins in their everyday products and provide a safe solution. So it is what I am truly passionate about. So I've aligned really well with the company. And I think that's part of the reason for my success is that it really spoke to me. The mission of it really spoke to me.
What I wanted to talk to you about is that with the company that you're with, so number one, if you guys didn't already hear it, Beth had a great alignment with the mission of the company and also a love of what the mission was, which is to bring, great products that are non-toxic products and educate people about those products. Now, what I love about this company is that it is a party plan company, what really up my alley. And I want you to kind of differentiate what you see the difference being with direct sales versus network marketing and how that's affected the company that you're with.
Yeah. So when I first joined, I kind of thought, oh, I don't want to do parties. I don't want to go do that. But what I found when I really started working my business was when you go to a party and you do a party with a hostess, first of all, you have that great relationship with the hostess where you're working with them on sort of what they want to get out of it. So there's that first relationship with the hostess. They're bringing you into their home and introducing you to all of their friends. So immediately you're broadening your circle, which is amazing. And then with that hostess, you're working with them on what they'd like to get out of it. So sometimes for me, it's that my hostess really cares as much as I do about this mission and getting the information out there. And sometimes the hostess says, I just want my entire home stocked with these products. And so this is a great way to do that. And the beauty of direct sales party plan is that the hostess has already sort of vetted you for her friends. So she's not bringing a total stranger into her house. Everybody feels at ease immediately with you because this woman, usually a woman, has invited you into her home to introduce you to her friends and family. And then the conversations that happen when you're presenting and there's a room full of people and they're hearing this information and they're asking questions and they're talking to each other. And sometimes some people have tried the products already and they'll give amazing testimonials. And other people will have not tried the products and they'll be asking for recommendations and they'll be saying, oh, can I smell that? Or can I try that? And it's just fun. It's so much fun. And it allows for this expansion, this ever expanding circle of people that you get to meet. Whereas I feel like with other network marketing companies where you're really, either trying to expand on social media or meet people one to one, it's just for me, it feels less comfortable and almost less, I like to call it less sticky, because I'm not those people in a way where somebody is saying to them, hey, this is my person that I met here, and I'm so excited that I met her because she introduced me to these products. It's just a harder, I think direct sales party plan is just a more natural way of doing things.
Well, since we did your personality profile, I can
Mhm.
tell you that this is right in line with who Beth is in her personality. And some people might be, well, but I'm not good at that and whatever. And I've found myself that some of my best consultants have actually been the people who are like, I don't know if I can talk to a crowd of people. A crowd of people is literally maybe 5 to 10 people. So
Yes.
that's the one thing
Yes.
that I've enjoyed with home parties is that they can be very intimate that way,
Yes.
and that you're not speaking that one to many factor like you were saying. It feels a little bit disconnected sometimes with network
Mhm.
marketing where yes, you are speaking one to the many, but there's a bit of that disconnect. And what I also picked up with what you said, and this is a really, really great information, by the way, is that when you are already vetted by that hostess, so to speak, I think it really gives them that know, like, and trust factor before
Yes,
you even come
absolutely.
into the meeting, which is really hard to accomplish in some network marketing where I work with a lot of people who are like, I posted that. Nobody bought. Why didn't they buy? And I'm like, because you don't have a know, like, or trust factor yet.
Right. Right.
And home parties allow the real conversation. So I know how I do, and teach my teams and people that I work with how to do home parties. But how long do you find a perfect presentation to be?
Um, our presentation tends to be between half an hour and 45 minutes. Super quick. It's not long and unwieldy, although I do find that parties tend to go a lot longer than that because once you get, again, typically women, a bunch of women in the room and they have scheduled a night out, this is their excuse
Yeah.
to sort of, have a fun girls' night out. So even though the presentation doesn't take that long, the party part usually takes a lot longer because everybody's having a good time. And the other thing I always like to tell my team when I have people who say, oh, but people aren't going to want to buy because it's, the economic times are tough. I always tell people this is a woman's best excuse to go shopping, because she can tell her significant other, oh, well, Susie invited me to this party and I'm just supporting Susie with, the coming to her party and trying some stuff. And so, I think our profession sort of does better in economic downturns because women specifically usually like to shop. I hate to generalize, but there is that thing. So
Yeah.
it sort of gives them a really fun excuse to get together with a bunch of girlfriends and shop. So
Yeah, I agree. And some people dub it as social selling of what we do and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, it is social selling, but it's that social part. And that's what I like with having the home party plan type business.
mhm.
Um, so why don't you tell us a little bit about your leadership journey and how that's gone for you? Now, you said that the company had a transition, so they made a name change. And how has that affected you in your leadership? Because there are lots of
Um,
companies, by the way, that go through transitions. I can tell you that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it strengthened my leadership a great deal to go through that. We were experiencing that exponential growth right before the company got sold, where we felt like, where you almost felt like everything was just falling into your lap and you could do no wrong. I could have said the wrong thing to 50 people and they still would have joined my team. Like it was just everything was going in this flow where it was super easy. And I always tell people it's never easy, it's always simple. But I think that transition really helped me mature as a leader and learn some skills that have helped me since then to be a stronger leader. Because when you're going through the easy times, like I said, it's easy, things are just falling in your lap. When you're going through the hard times, you need to really develop some grit and start learning and educating yourself on leadership. And I had had some leadership experience prior, mostly in the nonprofit world. So I'd learned some things about leadership prior to my position with the company. But um, on this kind of scale with this size team, I was at about 1,600 when the transition happened, and my team dropped down to 600 in 6 months.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
it was definitely it was a tough transition, and we've built back up now to several thousand. So it's we're back on solid ground, but it definitely takes a lot to go through that and be stable and strong and keep your mindset in the right place.
I agree. And having strong family support, because I know that you have a big family support too, which helps you out. Um, Now, I wanted to also ask, because this was a question that I had the other day, and people keep saying this to me all the time. And I'm like, no. My answer is no, anyways. I know yours is going to be no too. But what about the feeling that now, because COVID's over and that everybody started home parties and that home parties is dead, is what I keep hearing from people.
No. So I've done several home parties recently, and I think now more than ever, people need that human connection and interaction and fun. There's so many tough things going on in the world that just having an excuse to get together with your friends is it's a really great reason to come out and have some fun. And with us, we get to try pampering products because we sell skincare and we do foot soaks, and it's fun. So we're in a time when people need that more than ever.
I
That
agree.
human
And for my
connection.
hubby's business, same thing the other night. He had a demo, and I invited a few women over because women like to shop, just exactly like
Yeah,
you said. And I mean, it didn't take anything for me to get several people here. It was like, we're having a sip and demo.
right,
My husband
right.
needs to practice. Do you want to come? We can laugh and drink and make fun of him.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly,
oh my gosh,
exactly.
I had so many people like laughing. They're like, yeah, we definitely want to see this. And they came and supported him. And again, it was kind of funny because my husband was really nervous, and I'm like, you'll be
Mhm.
fine. Like you got this. Like I'm coaching him, which is a different perspective of me coaching other
Sure.
women. And it was lots of fun. He had fun. He relaxed into it. And I'm like, nobody, and here's the thing. We all have this apprehension doing a home party or a presentation, and everybody does. And for myself and coaching other people, I'm like, you need to do at least, I feel the magic number is about six.
Hmm.
Six presentations, get your feet wet. Those first couple ones are your learning curve. They're your friends who want to support you. They may not be the best sales, but then I call it, you get your real hostesses from those first couple ones. You're feeling a little bit better. I mean, I even had people who had IQ cards in front of them and read from them. I'm like, whatever makes you feel the most comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We in our company, prior to COVID, we had a flip chart. And one
Perfect.
of my favorite things to do is to say, oh, you know what? I really need a drink of water. And I'll hand it to somebody in the crowd and say, hey, can you read the next page? And I'll actually leave the room, go get a glass of water, come back in and say, look at that. My job is so simple. Anybody can do it. You did amazing. Look at how great you did with that. And so if anybody's thinking you can't do what I do, you just read. It's easy. So
Full disclosure, we read from a chart and people buy stuff.
exactly. Exactly.
I love it. And that makes it very easy and duplicatable for your team too, to
Mhm.
know that, hey, you don't have to be an expert. One of my clients who owns a makeup company up here in Canada, that's exactly what she says too. She goes like, I'm a makeup artist, but I don't expect you guys to be makeup artists, and anybody can do this, whether you wear makeup or don't wear makeup. You're beautiful, and I love that. And that's
Yeah,
same thing. You don't have to be a leader, but you can share this with your friends and family and have lots of
right.
fun and make, we call it up here in Canada, I don't know what you guys call it in the States, but up here in Canada, my parents used to call it like apron money.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you'd always have, like, mom would always have, the money for groceries, they have money to pay
Mhm.
your bills, and then mom would make a little bit of what she called apron money that she could go and spend however she liked to spend it. So it was very cool that way. All right. I just paused there waiting until you came back, and then Jenna will just
I'm
take
back.
over again. No worries. That's why we've got an editor.
I know.
All right. And so we're going to wrap this up in a little bit here, but I wanted to ask you a few other questions. Have you ever won any trips with your company? Like, do they do trips?
Yes. And I always tell my team, we earn trips. We don't win trips.
Right.
So um I have earned two cruises, two all expense paid resorts, Disney World, a Marriott gift card, a mountain retreat, a trip to Nashville. I feel like there's more that I'm missing. But yeah, I've earned a few trips.
You've earned a few trips. That's awesome. And I think what people don't realize too, the higher you get up into leadership, you also get other perks. So for your
Sure.
company, what are some of those perks of being a leader?
So I'm actually wearing one. This is
Woo!
our company's necklace. And so it is a 1.75 carat diamond with about 0.25 carats then around it. So those represent the team with the leader in the center. And then I also earned my car. And our car in our company has to be white, hybrid or electric, and a luxury model. And so I chose the BMW i8. And whenever my team talks about it, they say it has the whoosh doors. So
I
exactly,
love it.
whoosh doors. So it's been referred to as the Batmobile. Yeah, it's fun. So
I actually got to drive in. We went down to the coast for my husband's side business and met his leader, and he has like a Tesla. It must be a guy thing. It's definitely what I told you, according to those personality things. And he was like,
uh-huh.
and I'm like, did you even start it? Because it's electric. So it's like I didn't hear anything start. And then he actually kind of made me a bit car sick because I was in the
Oh,
back seat and he was like, going around curves and, oh, look at this,
yeah.
so fun. And I'm like, ugh, I gotta take a break. But it was fun. And with that, Tesla, actually, I did not know this, but all Teslas are the exact same color and you put covers on them. How
Whoa, I
fun
didn't know
is
that either.
how fun is that? I'm like, what? They're what? And he goes, yeah, it's like a cover. So like, when people have like a car, then they buy a cover for their business where they have like their, Ron's driving school on the side,
Sure,
all
sure.
white and green. That's a cover. And apparently all Teslas are made that way. So they don't have any colors. You just choose a cover.
Cover. Okay. I had no idea.
No,
Learn
me
something new
either.
today.
Learn
That's
something
exciting.
new. And they don't have, of course, like a speedometer thing either. It's all a digital board.
Hmm.
That was weird.
Yeah.
It's like looking at a computer screen. That's a little bit. I'm
Yeah.
like, I could not drive in Vancouver, which is a big city up here in Canada, on
Hmm.
in that not seeing. Anyways, so company trips, you've earned some beautiful jewelry. I did not get this jewelry from a company because I'm not with any company, but I got this beautiful piece of jewelry for my 50th birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
couple years ago, but I love it.
Okay.
It's one of my pieces. And for those of you who are listening to us, you don't see, but me and Beth are actually matching today because it's St. Patrick's Day that we're recording this. So we're both in green. So for you on YouTube, you get to enjoy that. I'm never usually matching with my
Yeah.
with my co-host for the day. So that's kind of fun. Now, I have one more question before we leave, and thank you
Sure.
so much for already giving us a little bit of what it's like for working with a home party, how you can build community, how it's also nice with home parties that you get to have that know, like, and trust factor with each and every hostess. I'm going to ask you two more questions,
Sure.
and then we'll wrap up. So, question number one is, how many personal shows do you do a year at your level of leadership?
So I, with COVID, everything has changed, right? So I am focusing on getting myself back to 6 to 8 a month is a really comfortable place for me. Yeah.
Which equals out to, in the year, because this is what I coach and train all the time, is that you do not need to have thousands of hostesses and thousands of customers. You can actually do a very high level functioning money in your pocket business by working with at least 60 hostesses a year. And just from what you just said, ding, totally in line. Like people think that this business is really, hard, and yes, you do have to work it, but it's math, not magic, is what I
Right.
phrase
Right.
all the time.
And that most companies that I've seen have some type of booking bonus. And so our company is no different. The host gets extra product when two of their friends book. So it's easy to get, though, once you get that roll, that train sort of rolling, it
Right.
it keeps going because people want to help their friends. So they book the parties to help their friend, that they sort of go through in their mind, I really want some of the products and it's going to help my friend. um
Right.
and I don't really have the money to buy everything I want, so it makes sense just to have a party and I want to have fun with my friends. So it, when you look at those programs, it does help to encourage those bookings, so you don't feel like you're constantly going to needing to go to new people to find the bookings. You're getting the bookings at the parties.
Exactly. And I 100% agree. And it's why the party plan model has continued to be one of my favorite models of coaching and teaching people throughout the years. Yes, COVID has, you know, I would say that right now, any party plan business that is now going forward with their parties and have survived COVID is now going to be on the rise, no matter with what
Yes,
company, what beautiful company that you have that you're working with. If
agreed.
you utilize a home party plan, it's going to bust out the seams. And just like you said, it's a lot easier from a party to get those couple of bookings, then start over brand new again, and you have to work at building up customer base. So I love that part. And here's the next question. So you said that you've been in your business for 13 years and that you came from a corporate line, I believe you said.
No, nonprofits. I was
Nonprofit.
volunteering with nonprofits prior. Yeah.
Okay. So what would Beth now, older, wiser, more beautiful Beth, give Beth of 13 years ago? What would be the advice that you would give to your older self starting out as a brand new
Wow.
entrepreneur?
That's a great question. So I was as I mentioned, one of the founding consultants with the company. And so that was a very unique position to be in. I sort of built a lot of the things that we use as a company, along with my friends on other teams, because I'm direct to the company. And so I think for any new consultant starting out, do use what's already there. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. And
Mhm.
I was in a place where I was sort of inventing the wheel. So, but it's I look at new consultants who come in who just do exactly what they're told to do, and those are the ones who thrive. The other thing that I think I did well because I didn't know any better. Um, I came in with no expectations. I was really all about the mission and getting the mission out there and explaining to people what was going on in the cosmetic and home cleaning product industry, and not really thinking about the fact that I was starting a career. And I think some people come in with really high expectations, and some people come in with really low expectations. And I think coming in focused on, just putting one foot in front of the other and doing the next thing, um, and letting the company tell you what the expectation should be to some extent. We have a simple start program. Most companies have a quick start, simple start, fast start, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. And those are your first goals. So if you go in thinking, I'm going to have this show and it's going to be this, without really knowing the reality of what the expectations in that company are, or what sort of the averages are in that company, you're almost setting yourself up for disaster from the beginning. So I think I came in as a clean slate,
Yeah.
and I think that was one of the best ways to start.
Oh, I love it. And I call it that I actually entered in with one of the first companies I was with 27 years ago. I called it accidental leadership.
Mhm.
I didn't
Yeah.
actually know that you could. I mean, I got sponsored, so to speak, but I was at a party. I loved all the products, and my best friend was like, "Why don't you just sign up and buy the kit?" So I didn't know that I was actually signing into a business either. And I never had anyone give me a proper demo. And so I just followed what the manual said. Oh, the manual says do this. So I did it. And again, I didn't have expectations because I didn't know. So for
Right.
me, it was like, here's what the company has, and I'll just follow it along. But then I did learn other skills along the way of having higher sales, getting more bookings. I call it the
Right.
accidental leadership because somebody at one of my parties came up and said, "Oh, I just saw what you did. I want to join your team." I'm like, "Cool. I don't know how to do that. Let's figure it out." And so that's how I got into leadership. And then I'm like, oh, you can make money sponsoring people. And I was about 8 months in. So it wasn't like I had just figured this out right at the beginning. I was just happy, making great money just doing shows and not sponsoring. So that's the other benefit too for people, by the way. You don't have to be in leadership with a lot of companies to make great money with direct sales. You can go
Mhm.
do your parties, make what I call the apron money, and just have fun with it. So
The
wonderful.
old-fashioned term for that in America, by the way, is pin money, but I don't know. I think they call it like mad money usually, or
Oh,
fun money,
okay.
right? But pin money, and I don't know where that, it's probably similar to apron money.
Yeah, you pin it into your
Yeah.
pocket. Pin money.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. We both learned something.
Oh,
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. I'm also going to have Beth come into our group, into our monthly group program that we have, my Leadership in a Box group, because I would love to have her come in and do some training for you guys as well too. So
love
again,
that.
thank you so much for joining. I've been so blessed to get you into my little world here and to be working with you and your wonderful teams. I can't wait. And again, thank you for being a guest today on the Heart Centered
Thank
Entrepreneur Series.
you. Thank you. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Take care, everyone. Make it a great day.
Bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned a lot. Each one of my guests have a special and unique spot in my heart as they have shared what they love about their business and how they truly have have grown in their entrepreneur journey. Thanks for sticking around to the end, and I would love to gift to you a fun and easy quiz that you can take right now that will help you assess how you feel about the sales process in your beautiful business. Building relationships, lifting each other up so we can all gain more in our lives and our business is what is truly important to me. And my hope is that in some small way, I've been able to do that for you today. So again, this is Jody Maley with the Heart-Centered Entrepreneur Series here in beautiful BC, Canada. Truly have a great and inspired rest of your day. The link to the quiz will be attached below, and please like, follow, and share this podcast if it inspired you today.